I'm picking up on the energy that the only way to rid yourself of a demon is to starve it. This is a particularly painful ending that you are currently going through. This is in regards to a lot of shadow work. This blue moon at the end of the week is significant. So you will know that this is for you if you feel like you've been closing out some pretty significant cycles. However, I'm getting the energy of a ghost that sort of like hangs around someone. But I've been hearing the term servitor a lot, and that is kind of the energy that I'm getting off of this. But it's not that it's necessarily serving you. I mean, it is, in that it is carrying out whatever your mind is thinking of, but it's not necessarily in your best interest at this point. This is something where you are going through like this last leg of shadow work, and you are realizing that the only thing left for you to do is to basically leave it alone. This is one of those things that you have been feeding it almost in the hopes of understanding things that are just not understandable. 111 on my timer, creation of a new timeline. That is really what you're being guided to do, is that the hope that if you feed into this enough, there will be some kind of fair resolution. This is almost like honoring a piece of you that died long ago, especially where I've got this 10 of birds energy here, that there is a version of you that took all the swords in their back and left the building essentially, and that this ghost is basically the ghost of you that you have been feeding into. That once there's almost this I'm seeing like an altar in my mind's eye, that like this is the only way for you to keep this aspect of you alive when this piece of you really just needs to go. That this person was given a painful ending, and that the more you ruminate on it, the more you will have experiences that sort of trigger this ghost, and you really don't want this ghost to hang around. So this is especially a sign for you if you've had like weird occurrences happening in your life. 222 on my timer. That is my number of co-creation. So you have been co-creating some weird stuff. This is one of those things, this tough lesson, like a tough pill to swallow, is that justice is something that you give yourself. So worshiping this, almost like what happened to this person is just going to recreate echoes of this event. If you've been hearing the word echo or seeing echo a lot, in one of my earlier readings, I spoke to the story of Narcissus, and I believe that echo was like someone that was in love with him or that sort of thing. So that could be a sign for you. But like she couldn't express her love for him, or that's something like that, and there was like a painful ending to their situation. I don't know the whole story. I'm pulling it from the dredges of my mind. So that could be significant to you. Something gone unexpressed, or something that felt really unfair. And at this point, justice is something that you give yourself, and you're being guided to write a new timeline. This is like the greatest form of alchemy that you will ever do, is that you cannot give this version of you the ending that they deserved. Is that this person went through a painful ending, and you had to resurrect as a new person. I'm seeing like a zombie in my mind's eye. However, you get to decide who this new person is and what timeline you want to give them, and that involves only feeding into this new timeline. Is that you can no longer feed this old timeline, and as painful as that is, there is some kind of integrative work that needs to be done here, where you understand that leaving this person behind, this version of you behind, isn't abandonment, it's letting this version of them rest. This is an energy that needs to be put to rest. I've been seeing RIP a lot. It's time to go. It's time to leave that version of you behind. Nothing in that situation was fair, and that's fine. Life isn't fair. That is one of the hardest lessons to learn and to integrate, is that life isn't fair, but justice is something that you give to yourself. So there is this piece of you, 444 on my timer, that honors the unfairness and understands that energy is energy, and you can work with this. So take that pain and turn it into something else. That pain's not going to go away, but you can turn it into something else. You are here, if this resonates with you, you are here to do masterful level work. And that involves staring ugly in the face and doing something with it and turning it into whatever the fuck you want it to be. So this is sort of like master level alchemy, and you get to turn this wildly unfair, painful timeline into whatever the hell you want it to be. But it involves you letting it go, letting this person lie, and taking whatever it is that is left of them. This is kind of dark, but it's like taking the valuables off of something that is no longer here. This is something that was like done in war. Like you take the coins and whatever is left off that person. It's that kind of energy where what you're doing isn't it isn't pretty work, but it is functional. So you're gonna take the valuables and you're gonna move on ahead. I don't know, I've been getting like name change. So for some of you, there needs to be like a name change, like Norma Jean and Marilyn Monroe kind of shit. Like there is a traumatized or hurt version of you that needs to be put to bed, and you need to make something else with it. But like a better timeline, because I feel like Marilyn's not the best example. But basically, like, there is something that you've known in your soul that was meant for you, and you weren't necessarily born into that timeline, and understand that there was a reason for that there were valuables from the very challenging timeline that you navigated through, and it's time to pick yourself up. It's time to stop it's time to stop worshiping the hurt side of you, is that person had to go for a reason so that this new version of you could resurrect. If you need any help with this timeline work, you can book with me. I have a roadmap to your dream life in my bio. You can also book with me one-on-one if you need more intense work. So, especially if you need help with alchemizing this shadow work, because there comes a point where the shadow work has been done and it is time to alchemize it into art. And for a lot of you, this artwork is you. So who is this new version that you want to be? Especially if you've been feeling really triggered by certain things, it's because it's time for you to alchemize an old version of you and step into a new version. So if this resonates with you, let me know. All my services are linked to my bio. So if you'd like to get a little more information on this reading or something else, go ahead and book with me there.